Yo, what's going on? This is KingQuaka, and today I'd like to give you guys 10 tips to get started on Final Fantasy XIV for the first time. When I first got into the MMORPG last August, it really got me going with this powerful narrative, its surprisingly accessible and addictive combat, and its non-linear landscape that has so many things to do and explore. It's easily becoming one of my favorite Final Fantasy games right now, and with Endwalker just slowly inching ever closer to release, I figured now will be an appropriate time to help you guys get into it. Just know that what's on this list is based on my personal experience with the game. Right, let's get started. Here are my 10 beginners tips when you play Final Fantasy XIV for the first time. Number 1. Play Final Fantasy XIV for free. FF14 is a time-invested game. It would take hundreds of hours, including side quests and dungeons, to get from A Realm Reborn all the way up to the end of Shadowbringers in time for the upcoming expansion Endwalker. But thankfully, you'll be able to get yourself a free trial. With a free trial, you'll get to play the entirety of A Realm Reborn as well as Havensward, and the only limitation is when you hit level 60. That's it. That means you got yourself a full game absolutely for free. I've got the link down in the description below, so don't wait up and get yourself signed up. Number 2. Data Center. As you log on to the game for the first time, you'll have the privilege of selecting any of the 3 regions: Japan, North America, or Europe. Pick any of your chosen region's data center and then select one of its several servers to create your character and then start your adventure. During the game, you can visit other worlds in your data center freely by heading over to a large aetheryte crystal in one of the 3 cityscapes, Limsa Lominsa, Yulda, or Gridania, and then interact with the crystal. Go to Visit Another World server from its menu and choose which world you want to visit. In another world, you can create parties with your friends, trade items, and even take part in duties, although there are some restrictions that you may want to keep in mind in regards to most of the game's features, such as retainers, markets, link shell, and even free companies. I've given you guys a link in the description below for more details, so feel free to take a look. Number 3. Prepare for Combat Part 1. Roles, Classes, and Races. Now for the fun part. It's time to create your own character from scratch before stepping into the world of Hydaelyn. It might be daunting at first, but as long as you take your time and take a look at which role and corresponding class that best suit your playstyle, it can be one of the most exciting parts of the game, as it allows you the opportunity to make a character your own. That said, there's nothing wrong with a little online research to really get you started. Get some research on each role, class, and race, as each race has different base stats that may complement the abilities of each class. One of the best examples of this, the Hrothgar race, consists of, well, lions. They got amazing stats based on strength and vitality, and if given a role such as tank and one of its classes Marauder, it will be beneficial for you. Tanks has a lot of HP, some deal heavy damage, most take some. All serves as a strong shield to a party. As a Marauder, you carry an axe with some DPS components that will allow you to take the fight to your enemies, whether it's PvP or PvE. I've given you lot a couple of links in the description below to the websites that has more information. The density of creating your own Warrior of Light is huge, and the possibilities are limitless. And don't worry, you'll be able to change and learn another class in certain side quests during the game. Number 4. Prepare for Combat Part 2. Fight to Learn. When you leave a sanctuary and go into the wild, you see many enemies that were level 1. It would be a great opportunity to learn the game's combat, the controls, the range of attacks, how to lock onto enemies, what clicks and what doesn't. As you already know, FF14 is not your typical RPG, it's an MMORPG, and unless you play it like one, you got no chance. Number 5. Don't leave out side and class missions in the beginning of the game. The climb to level 80 is huge, and you don't want to be in a situation where things start to go slow. Side missions not only give you EXP and gil, but some of them can also unlock content that will assist you on your journey. As for class quests, treat them as main story ones, as they'll unlock new abilities that will up your arsenal. In Final Fantasy XIV, EXP is the currency, and going through these quests along with the main story ones will help you level up fast. On that note, number 6. Fight Fate. Fate, also known as full active time events, are randomized special battles or missions that can occur when traversing the world map. Look for an area surrounded in blue, with this symbol in the middle on your minimap to get started. If you're over the required level of each fate, you'll be able to sync your level to participate. Going for fates, at least in the beginning of the game, can give you a decent amount of EXP, guild, and later on company seals, and have fun while doing it. Number 7. Leaf quests. Simply leveling up won't be enough to take on what 14's biggest and baddest has to offer. You need to strap yourself with stronger weapons, spells, and armor to stand a chance, and leaf quests are some of the best ways to earn guilds to buy them. Leaf quests are repeatable missions that will earn you various rewards. They can be either escorting an NPC, hunting a monster, or gathering resources and materials, and depending on what difficulty and time, you'll earn bonuses for your troubles. Leave no guild behind. Number 8. The chocos on you. One of the main reasons to level up fast is to get to level 20, whereas you'll be able to get yourself your first mount. Mounts are your steeds, whether it's a chocobo or a behemoth, to help you travel to your destinations quicker than running. To do that, once you get to the big 20, you need to progress through the main story to the point where you join a grand company, then complete the quest, My Little Chocobo, where you need to obtain 200 company seals. You can earn them by completing fates or grand company leaves, and so on. Buy yourself a license, or in 14's case, Chocobo issuance. Bring that to the Choco Keeper at the nearest city or sanctuary, and you'll get the whistle. Use it, name your Chocobo, move the mount action to your toolbar for easy access, then boom, the Chocobo is in your hands. Giddy up. Number 9. It's all about the journey. In Final Fantasy XIV, the game rewards you for exploration. Like for instance, if you go to a region you have yet to visit, you'll get EXP. In each cityscape or sanctuary, there's a large crystal you need to attune known as Aetheryte, so that you'll be able to fast travel. In cityscapes, there are little crystals around the city as well to attune known as Aetheryte shards. They won't be able to teleport you to another city or sanctuary, but when you want to move to other parts of the city, they'll be your best friend. My word of advice is that if there is a quest then you must complete in another region, and there is an Aetheryte in the city nearby, you can actually set it up as your home point, so that when you unfortunately meet your demise and there's no one to revive you, it'll allow you to teleport back to your Aetheryte to avoid having to teleport all the way back to your previous region. Being one step ahead is key to survival. Number 10. Watch and learn. Another important reason why 14 is not your typical Final Fantasy is because while Final Fantasy in general is known for its incredible story-focused single-player experiences, 14 is all about players coming together as communities, meeting and greeting other players, overcoming odds in dungeons and raids, and supporting one another. Which is why it's very important to know that to fully enjoy Final Fantasy XIV and its stories, you must remember that the purpose of the game is that you don't always have to go it alone. Go and check out other Final Fantasy XIV creators and streamers, watch them play and learn different tactics, and don't hesitate to interact with them in the chat and ask for advice and tips. Let them know how your journey went so far, and who knows, maybe they might even allow you to join their party on stream. The best thing about Final Fantasy XIV is that it's got communities that welcomes newcomers, making your journey in Eorzea truly a memorable one. So there you have it. These are your 10 beginners tips for Final Fantasy XIV, and I want to give a very big shout out to Dadtv, who is a Final Fantasy XIV charity streamer and a really good one at that. He has been very supportive on giving me advice and make sure that I've been doing this video correctly, especially with the voiceover, so thank you so much for that one, bro. I've got the link to his Twitch channel below, as well as his YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, anything you can do to support him. He's an awesome guy and he'll make your time worth it, trust me on that. Like I said, this is based on my personal experience, so whether this video is for you or not may vary. I just thought I'd put this out because it's a brilliant MMORPG for fans and newcomers alike, and as long as you have the patience and drive to keep playing, it'll be a trip to remember. Yoshida-san and his team behind Square's Creative Business Unit 3 take pride in adding new and exciting stuff for 14, and it's only gonna get better, so make sure you get your fanfare ready, because as a great man once said,
"The end draweth nigh."
Thank you for listening, and as a treat for your time, here's a look at my take on a dungeon. Think of it as a self-explanatory bonus tip, and if you like this video, like and or subscribe. Take care. This is KingQuaka signing off. Stay blessed, yeah?